So raise your hand again if you have absolutely no recycling on your campus at all. Okay. That's actually really good. Mostly when I do these workshops, there's just so many people that have none at all. So I'm really happy to see that we've got a great representation of people wanting to take this to the next step. But why do we need to talk about this? Where does garbage go when we throw it away?
It goes to the landfill.
It goes to the landfill. And what's the landfill? What is that? A mountain of trash. And where is it?
Outside of the hill.
Does anybody know where the landfill is that their trash goes to? So some people know, right? There's actually like 9 active landfills here in LA County that we're using on a regular basis. And then we're also shipping some of our trash to another county far away. We're paying all the transportation costs for that as well. In addition to landfills, there's also incinerators where we burn our trash, right? Now there's some new things happening where there's a little bit of recycling and a little bit of composting too, but still the majority of what we're creating is being thrown away. And as you can see here in Los Angeles County, we're sending an average of 19,000 tons of waste per day. Tons is 2,000 pounds. That's like the size of an elephant, right? So 19,000 elephants worth of trash per day to the local landfills. So if you picture 1,600 school buses, that's one school bus every second that ticks by. Another school bus worth of trash is sent to the landfill just from the 10,000 people that live in LA County. That's so much trash. And we're actually going to run out of space. We only have about 26 years worth of space to put our trash if we're to continue producing waste at the rate that we're doing right now. And if we were to dramatically cut it down to 75% being recycled or composted, only 25% being sent to the landfill, that still only gives us about 40 to 60 years worth of trash space that we can still keep producing before we run out here in LA County. That's crazy, right? What happens if we run out of a place to put trash? Are we going to fly it out to Mars? Hopefully not, right? So we're averaging around about 5 pounds per person per day of trash. That's a lot. And why else is it a problem? Where does litter go when you throw it away?
It sometimes goes to the landfill and sometimes it goes to the ocean.
That's right. How does it get to the ocean? How does litter get to the ocean? Yep. The holes in the street. Does anybody know what those are called? Do you know what those are called?
Sewer?
Sewer is where our waste goes when we flush the toilets.
Gutters.
The gutters, or another way to call that is storm drain. So if you throw litter on the ground, or even if you're sitting there and you're eating lunch and you're like at your table and you have a wrapper and you're just like, ma, and then it kind of blows away and then it blows down onto the ground and then your janitor misses it, and then the next day it's a really windy day and it goes out to the street and all the trash is blowing everywhere and it goes to the storm drain. That goes out to the ocean. And right now, they're saying that there's more plastic. There's quickly going to be more plastic in the ocean than there are living creatures. More bits of plastic. And how long does it take plastic to break down into nothing? It doesn't ever. It will break down so small that it's really like a micro type size, but it takes thousands of years to get there. It's pretty crazy, right? So, we were talking a little bit about a landfill. What is a landfill? Has anybody ever heard of a dump before? Raise your hand if you've heard of a dump. Does anybody know the difference between a landfill and a dump?
No.
Well, what's the difference?
Throw the trash into the piles and dig a hole.
That's part of it, yeah. So a dump is where we used to take our trash back when we didn't know anything about the environment and how it would really affect the environment. Back then we also didn't produce that much trash. We reused a lot. We didn't have plastic stuff that we have now. And we didn't use as much paper as we're using now either. So what happens in a dump is you literally just throw stuff kind of in a place, it blows everywhere, or the rain comes in, and then it drips down through the ground into our lower level of the aquifer where our drinking water is stored. So any sort of gross things that are in there, any sort of toxic chemicals that are in there might contaminate our water. So that's what a dump was. So we started building these things just in this last century called a landfill, where we put in a layer on the bottom of clay, of plastic, of cement, of as much stuff as we can to prohibit stuff from draining in there. But that's still buried deep underground, and it will always someday leak. There will always be a hole in the bottom of a landfill. Now they try and capture all of the liquid that drips down as much as they can into what is called a leachate system, and then they pump the leachate out. So leachate is, we're going to learn in a couple minutes, the stuff that is really gooey, toxic chemical stuff. It's water, and then they have to treat it because we don't want it to contaminate this. Or stuff breaks down and turns into methane gas and other sorts of gases that are greenhouse gases. What's greenhouse gas? Anybody? The ones that affect the ozone layer, and what does that cause when we have our ozone layer affected? Global warming, climate change, right? So methane gas is the third largest, methane gas from the landfill is the third largest contributor to climate change right now. And it comes from anything that is organic, so something that was once alive, whether it be a cotton t-shirt, whether it be a banana, whether it be wood or lumber from your house or from the tree that you cut down in your backyard, paper, clothing, any type of stuff that was once alive, breaks down into methane gas. And that's causing climate change right now. Pretty crazy, right? So, who's going to do something about it? Whose job is it to stop this from happening? It's all of our jobs, right? So the government, they have to step in and start making regulations. Now, we're so lucky to be living in one of the most progressive states in America when it comes to doing something about our environmental problems. So California has made some laws. Back in 1989, they made AB 939 saying that we can't keep throwing stuff away. We have to recycle. And they mandated that all around California, you had to reach, each municipality, meaning each city or each living district, had to reach 50% diversion, which means that only 50% of their waste was going to the landfill and 50% was being recycled, right? Then we hit it, we did a great job. Everybody really buckled down and did that. We had the bottle law, which was passing where you have the CRV, which means that you can return your bottles and cans for money. That was really helping a lot too. And then we had cities start doing these blue bin recycling systems as well. So then they came up with AB 341, which has the goal of 75% waste diversion by 2020. And we're trying to do that, but then it also mandated that everyone has to recycle. So you guys have to have a recycling bin on your campus of some sort. It might just be used for cardboard right now, but it has to be there. Otherwise, you're in trouble with this law right here. So you can tell that to your principal. And then most recently, AB 1826 was the first time that they made a law saying we have to offer organics collection. So that means our food, that means our yard waste, anything that was once a living creature can go inside our organics bin. Now, it's not mandatory that every single customer has to sign up for this organics bin, but it's mandatory that every single waste hauler provides this service. And I have a couple questions here.
Would we be able to get a hold of this PowerPoint?
Absolutely, I'll send it to you guys all at the end of this. And you have a question?
Yeah, you said that all waste collector companies need to be able to provide that. Is it required also that they provide it at no cost?
No, so there is a cost to it, and that's kind of the catch, right? Another law just recently, it's being formed right now, it's called SB 1383, and that's more shaping the goal and direction of how much organics we should be taking out of the landfill. They want to take it down to 75% of what we were throwing away by 2025. So that includes carpets and mattresses and all these other types of things that are mostly food waste, because that's really, I'll get into that soon. That's the average school waste stream. 48% is organics here. So that's really what we're producing the most of, is things that break down and turn into methane. Now, landfills actually kind of like that a little bit, because they capture as much as they can of the methane, anywhere from 25% to the Puente Hills landfill, if you guys want to take a tour there. They have a free tour that captures about 95% of the methane they're producing. They clean it out, they heat it up by lighting it on fire, and they heat up water from our sewers that they've cleaned out. They turn it into steam, they turn that into electricity, and they sell that back to us to power our lights. So literally, our toilet water and our garbage are powering our lights right now, you guys. It's pretty cool, right? So a lot of the organics need to be taken out of the waste stream in order to be able to really produce less waste, in order to have less of an environmental impact, and in order to create more energy from the waste, or more soil from composting it as well. So how do we do that? How do we start getting that out of the waste stream and making a difference on our campus? That is through